Hello, welcome to Library with Miss Pulliam. This is week 7, and this is for students in grades 3 through 5. Hi, everybody. Okay, before we begin, let's talk. Today we're going to read A Fractured Fairy Tale. I know you love the books by Jory John. However, we read them all the ones I have. So I do promise to find some more. I have students that just really love Jory John books, and so do I. What a great author. But we're going to talk about fractured fairy tales. So let's start off. What is a fracture? When you hear the word fracture, what do you think of? Think of, oh, wait a minute. He fractured his ankle. Okay. So when we think of fractures, we think of bones breaking, right? So if you picture in your mind bones breaking, bones cracked and broken, we all know that something fractured must be put back together. Much like a bone that must be rebroken to set it. Fractured fairy tales are broken apart to be set back together. And the easiest way, the most basic definition of a fractured fairy tale is a rewritten fairy tale. And they're usually very funny. They take a fairy tale and they change things around. And you know the fairy tale well because it's very popular and you know the original. So you can you can look at it and see all the differences between the real one and the new one. Okay, so we're going to read today Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Okay. And then, of course, afterwards, we're going to get back into our Losers Club because it's awesome. First of all, let's go ahead and talk about vocabulary review. We know that from the penguin problem story, we know the word buoyant means, that's right, able to float. And a dozen of something, from the good egg, a dozen is 12. So if you go buy donuts and you want a dozen donuts, you will come out with 12 donuts. From giraffe problems, the word delectable. And I hope you've been using this word at home. Delectable means delicious. So mom's making dinner and you can smell it. Oh, mom, that spaghetti sauce smells delectable. Or thank you for the meatloaf. It was wonderful. It was delectable. It's delicious. So it's a word you can use quite a bit. All right, so that's the old vocabulary, right? Up, gander. Take a gander at that. Take a look. And dilemma. A dilemma is, right, a problem, an issue. I have a dilemma. Okay, our new vocabulary for this week and for the book that we're going to be reading next, we're going to go over right now. The word contented. Well, if you think of content, he's content with his hair being long. Content, he's happy with it. He's fine with it. He's good. Commotion, a state of confusion and noisy disturbance. How about the class next door? Made such a commotion that we heard them through the walls. Okay, they were so loud. They made a commotion. Gracious. Gracious means courteous, kind, and pleasant. Our waitress was so gracious, she made us feel right at home. Culprit. A culprit is a person who's responsible for a crime or misdeed. So let's see. Somebody turn that chair over. Who is the culprit? Who did that? And the last one is hoofed. 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 And it means to go on foot. So you hoofed it, you know? We hoofed it all the way home in the rain. Okay, so definitely didn't drive. You hoofed it. You walked. Okay, we're going to read Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And it's by Erica Pearl. And then we'll talk for a few minutes, and then let's get to our other book. Okay, I know we're all dying to read The Losers Club. Getting good. Here's our story. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, there was a kid named Goldilocks. She lived down the road from a family of bears. When the bears went out for a walk one morning, what do you think is going to happen? I can see him over there on the other side of the house going. Well, you can probably guess what Goldilocks did. Inside the bear's house, Goldilocks found 3 bowls of porridge. Yummy. She tasted the big bowl, but it was much too hot. She tasted the medium bowl, but it was too cold. She tasted the little bowl. It was just right. So she ate it. The little spoon, too. Burp. So she ate the porridge, she ate the bowl, and the spoon. I think she'd have a tummy ache, but let's see what happens. Next, Goldilocks found 3 chairs. She tried the big chair, but it was too hard. And she tried the medium chair, but it was much too soft. Then she tried the little chair. Ooh, it was just right. So, see the little chair shaped like a bear? What do you think's going to happen? Yep, she ate it, cushions and all. What a mess. That's a dilemma. At this point, Goldilocks began to feel sleepy. Upstairs, she found 3 beds. She tested the big bed, but it was too lumpy. Nobody wants a lumpy bed. And then she tested the medium bed, but it was too squishy. Why is it squishy? You can see the hose here because it's a water bed. Then she tested the little bed. It was just right. There she is. So, there we go. She ate it, plus the blanket, the 2 pillows, and a pair of pajamas. Then, with a contented sigh, Goldilocks fell asleep. Shortly thereafter, the bears came home. You can probably imagine the commotion. Someone has been eating my porridge, said Papa Bear. Someone has been eating my porridge, said Mama Bear. Hey, where's my porridge? Asked Baby Bear. So Goldilocks tried both of them, Mom's and Dad's, and they were too hot, too cold, and then she ate Baby Bear's. Get a load of this, called Papa Bear from the dining room. Someone's been sitting in my chair. Gracious, said Mama Bear. Someone has been sitting in my chair. Baby Bear says, Hey, where's my chair? Let me see. I want to make sure. Good. It's a poor Baby Bear. They found the culprit upstairs. Remember we said the culprit, the person who did the misdeed. My bed, wailed Baby Bear. It's gone. Goldilocks opened her eyes. Above her stood 3 bears. Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear. Let's see what's going to happen next. Quickly, she jumped up and hoofed it for home, which probably sounds like the end of the story, but it's not. She jumped out of bed. She hoofed it. She's hoofing it for home. The next day, Goldilocks woke up feeling a little, well, sheepish. She wanted to make things right with her neighbors. But how? Outside, she found her answer. What do you see outside the window? Lots and lots of flowers. How could the bears resist? Her gift was so pretty, so thoughtful. It was just right. So here it is. Here it's got for the three bears. There's their gift. She's apologizing. You know what they did? They ate it. They ate it. And the little one, who's this right here? Little one, of course, he burps. He just eats all kinds of things and burps. And that's the end of the story. Fractured fairy tales are fun, and they make so many of them now. And we've got a really neat one for next week that we're going to do, and I'm working on the lesson plan as we speak. Okay, my friends, let's go ahead and switch on over to. I don't know if we have enough time. We're going to do this quickly. Okay, no class coming up. Let's see where we are in the Losers Club. Uh-oh. Oh, here it is, page 85. Okay. Oh, good. I haven't read this yet. We're on chapter 16, and this one's called Warrior Princess. Maybe I did. When the kickball came smacking down onto their club table at about 3:15 on Tuesday afternoon, it caught Alec and Nina and Lily totally by surprise, and all three of them jumped. The ball actually knocked the book out of Nina's hand, and before she even picked it up, Dave Hampton sprinted over, grabbed the ball, and whipped it sidearm backwards toward home plate in the far corner. But it got there too late to tag the runner. And who is that runner? Kent. No, 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 boo-boo, Kent. Kent saw Alec and Nina looking at him. He gave a big wave and a big thumbs up, and they both waved back. As she picked up her her book, Nina said, "That was a monster kick." Alec only nodded, but he heard the admiration in her voice. He went back to his reading, the same book of Bradbury's stories. He'd read all of them he read all of them the day before, finishing the final three stories at home just before bed. The last one was called A Sound of Thunder. This amazing story about a big game hunter who took a huge backward time travel trip to try to shoot a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeeks. Alec had dreamed of dinosaurs most of his life, and now he was rereading the stories he'd liked best, starting with the giant lizard hunt. 10 minutes later, another kickball whammed against the wall, 10 feet above the Losers Club table. And again, all three of the readers jumped. That's scary. What's unexpected? The ball bounced 20 feet back out onto the gym floor. And again, it was Dave, the center fielder, who grabbed it on the rebound and threw it back into play. Oh, Dave. Again, the ball had been kicked by Kent. And when he held up his hand, let's do that again. Again, the ball had been kicked by Kent. And when he held up at third base, he looked back at their table and waved. And Nina smiled and waved back. Alec waved too, but he didn't smile much. Nina said, "It takes a lot of power to kick a ball that far, don't you think?" "Yes," Alec said. I guess so." He went back to reading right away, just like Lily did. But Nina watched the kickball game for a few minutes before she opened the book again. About 15 minutes passed before the third ball landed. The one also struck the wall behind them, but then it smacked down onto the table before it took a high bounce toward the game. It had landed on the name placard. That's the name tag, which knocked it to the floor, flattened. Like before, Dave came hustling over to get the ball and hurl it back into play. Also, like before, the kicker was Kent, of course. Nina and Alec looked, and like before, Kent smiled and waved. But unlike before, Nina didn't smile and she didn't wave back. She said, "He's doing that on purpose to bother us." Alec nodded. "I think you might be right," which was sort of a lie because Alec knew she was right. At lunchtime, just a few hours ago, Kent had brought Nina the ice cream sandwich he owed her, first from their kickball bet on Monday. Kent had also brought along a second ice cream sandwich, and he had dearly planned for the two of them to sit and enjoy their decadent dessert. But what had Nina done? She had thanked Kent for her ice cream sandwich. Then she'd immediately stood up, walked over, and handed it to Alec, and sat down across from him. And it's not Alec. That wasn't his fault. Okay. I think I need to stretch for a second. My eyes start closing when you read so much. Whew, that feels good. Feel free to move yourselves around. And don't forget healthy snacks. While we're working, I'm eating AP3, which is a portable protein pack. And this one is turkey, almonds, and Colby cheese. Colby cheese. I really like it. Tried to eat some of these at home, but my dog loves cheese and meat, so I have to keep it away from her. Okay. Okay. Where am I? Okay, Kent had also brought along a second ice cream sandwich that he had clearly planned for the two of them to sit and enjoy their dessert together. But what had Nita done? She had thanked Kent for her ice cream sandwich. Then she immediately stood up, walked over, and handed it to Alec, and sat down across from him. And Alec had unwrapped the ice cream sandwich, broken it in two, had unwrapped the ice cream. Alec had unwrapped the ice cream sandwich, broken it in two. Again, high hopes. Uh-oh. Hold on one moment. It got dark in here. The lights go off. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, every 20 minutes or so, the lights go off in here if we're not moving around. Okay. At lunchtime, just a few hours ago. Okay. But what had Nina done? She had thanked Kent for her ice cream sandwich, then immediately stood up, walked over, handed it to Alec, sat down across from him, and Alec had unwrapped the ice cream sandwich, broken it in two, and given half to Nina. And then the two of them sat there and laughed and talked while they ate Nina's ice cream sandwich, the one she had gotten from Kent. All of this was perfectly clear in Alec's mind because yesterday, when he had made that bet with her about whether she would like the science fiction story, Alex suggested that they bet because he had been trying to be as clever as Kent on purpose. And choosing to bet Nina an ice cream sandwich, Alec knew he had done that to compete with Kent on purpose, of course. However, the part about giving Alec the ice cream sandwich right after Kent gave it to her, that had been all Nina's idea. Kind of rude, but because she didn't ask him if he wants to sit with them, right? But anyway. But the moment she had said that, Alec had known for sure that Kent was not going to like it. And when Alec had suggested that they should split the ice cream sandwich and share it, that was something he had added to annoy Kent even more on purpose. Plus, while he and Nina had been sharing that ice cream sandwich, Alec had glanced over to see if Kent was watching them. And of course, he was. And what did Kent's face looked like right then? Sort of like an angry Tyrannosaurus Rex. So there was no maybe about whether this kickball bombardment was on purpose. Kent was furious about that ice cream sandwich stuff, and he found a way to show it. What time is it? Go to class in a couple minutes. Okay, let's see. Alec understood all this, and part of him wanted to tell Nina the whole story. But that might also mean telling how he was competing with Kent, which might mean that Nina would ask why he was competing. So explaining everything to Nina, not going to happen. All right, we're going to stop here because I do have to head to class. And I'm writing down what page we stop at so we know. Okay, I should put on here. Remote students. Okay, good. Now I'm going to know what page we're on. All right, my friends. I think you've probably noticed as I start reading, I'm trying to keep myself moving. I should stand up when I do this. I think I'll do the next one standing because I know I start to drift off, and I apologize for that. One other thing before I let you go, let's talk about reading aloud. You know that's something I talk to you about all the time, and I'm going to keep doing that. Reading aloud gives you confidence, and confidence in your voice and in your reading ability, and you're able to project your voice to the other end of the room like I do. So I'd like you to read at home, read to a stuffed animal or a pet, and have your parent take a picture and email it to me so I can put it in the newsletter. And that's Pulliam, Pulliam, at winthropcharter.org. And if they send them, I will definitely put them in the newsletter. I'm working on the November one now. And it's so important that we get pictures from our remote learners as well as our students that are here on campus, because we want to see how you're doing. With that being said, I guess I'm going to close it up for today. I wish you a wonderful day. Keep reading, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.